What's up, everybody? So this is Trading Gas Money, Hendrix, Gains Day Trades. A lot of people ask me all the time, like, hey man, how do you find stocks to trade? And this is one of the tools that I use to find stocks to trade sometimes. I use it a lot in my early trading career. I've kind of slowed down off of it just because I kind of haven't figured out a workflow for it yet. But it's one of those tools that you can use most definitely to find stocks to trade. I wouldn't say I don't have a workflow. It's just my main station now has been kind of black box stocks. I just like it for the option flow and the things that it has there. I still registered for this. I still have it. I'm going to log in right now just to kind of show you guys how it looks. They've changed to, they have this little Scanz web early release, which I think is kind of dope. I'm not too familiar how to use that one yet, so I'm just going to show you the basic one. So I'm opening it up now. It's kind of loading on my screen here, and it's kind of populating on another monitor I have. So let me see. So what you can do is you can go to Pro Scanner, right? And then you could also load up like Easy Scanner. And Easy Scanner kind of lets you see like what stocks are moving within a certain price range and how much is the dollar volume. So for example, like one of the hottest stocks this week, which you've probably seen in a couple of my videos or a couple of my tweets, has been Open. Open traded $1.3 billion. That's a lot of money. So we want stuff that has a lot of liquidity, because if we're going to put maybe $5,000 in or $10,000 in, we want to be able to pull it straight out. Like if we buy something that has $0, like you're not going to have anybody who's on the bidder ass to be able to sell the stock to. So we don't want to be buying stocks that are low in volume, which equates to dollar volume. So as a day trader, you always want to try to trade the stock with the highest momentum, or the stock of the day. Stock of the day would have been Open, would have been a great trade. It was very liquid. It didn't have a big move. Something like PGN, SRXH, PMNT, all these stocks that have a lot of volume. So usually what I do is I filter the stocks between a certain price. As you can see, the stock's price is being filtered from 0001 to $4. You can narrow it down to whatever range you want. Some people put $1 to $10. And then you can kind of see like what's been moving. Like Wolf was a good stock, had a good deal with Google, and you can kind of click it here and it'll kind of populate the chart. This thing is always tripping because I have multiple monitors. And then you'll be able to pull up the chart. You'll be able to see like the time frames. You'll be able to read the news, right? They had a Google back HPC deal. You'll be able to populate it just like that. Then it kind of pulls up. It says TeraWolf's pivot to HPC hosting is proving successful. So Scanz is like a great tool if you want to have something that has news, where you can get news directly into your feed. Or you can go ahead and get not just news, but also you're able to assess price action and dollar volume, because that's one of the most important things. So what you can also do with Scanz, which is pretty neat, is you can go to like pre-built scanners, or like Pro Scanner, for example, and then you can just use pre-built scans and you can select a scan. So what we trade sometimes, a lot of the times, is very low float runners. So obviously you can't scan anything. Oh, it did pop up. Perfect. So PPSI, so low float runners are going to be stocks that are at least have a float of, I would say, 20 million or less. You start getting into micro floats when the stock is like 1 mil. And I'll show you like what I mean by that, right? Like, for example, like WeBuy is a perfect example right now, even though the stock is not really doing much, where it has a float of like less than 1 million. So, and then on top of that, the float is being shorted. Like more than 50% of these shares are being shorted. So this comes out with any crazy news, this is going to squeeze like really high, because the shorts are going to have to close. And when they close, they have to buy back the stock in order to close that position. That's what causes those massive short squeezes that you sometimes hear, like, oh, it's going to squeeze, Is because shorts sell. in order to enter a position, and then in order to exit the position, they have to buy. So the stock is rallying back up, they have to buy at the price that is rallying, and sometimes a lot of the shorts are trying to get out at the same time, that it just causes the stock to just shoot up astronomically on top of the buy or the bullish pressure that you're seeing. So when you're looking at low floaters, like that one said PPSI, like Pioneer Power Solutions, this one is 8.59 million float. So I usually always say, like, when I say 20 million, I probably mean like the shares outstanding. But if the float is like 10 million or less, that's usually like a low floater. Even 20 mil, sometimes you can get away with it. But if you want some real price action, you want a float that's less than 10 million, because those stocks can really run multiple dollars in comparison to a stock like Plug, which, has a good, business model, but it has $1 billion. So you can see from May to August, it went from 73 cents to 170. The float is too large. Like, it's going to require a lot of money to push this stock higher than what it is today. And it's been slowly just grinding up there. So just heading back to Scanz, these stocks are stocks that really run they can really move. So as you can see, like 37%, 55%. And you can see how much is traded today. So PPSI looks like it was the most traded stock today. I looked at the news on PPSI and I thought it was pretty cool, just because of the fact that the industry that it's in is in electrical components, and electrical components is a pretty big thing right now. I mean, they had some revenue growth of over 147%. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this because it's so small. But they had some revenue growth over 147%, which is pretty good. I mean, it's expected considering all these artificial intelligence require a lot of power. So I would expect any type of electrical company or electrical, a component stock that provides some type of power solutions to be at least be profitable, unless you're just poorly managing your business. BMNR, TIVC, SBET, these are all low floaters. So this is why they're popping up on the scanner. So if you want to find some good low floaters, and people be like, oh, I trade low float stocks, you could just use the pre-built scanner that gives you all the low float stocks. So these are how we're finding stocks to trade all the time. And we're always trading, the top movers. So like PPSI will appear on our radar. It's like the perfect setup, right? It has news. It has the right share structure, it has the right flow. It's bottom. This is something that I would definitely trade. This is something that I actually traded, and people that I know have traded this on the news report and made money. So that's Scanz. The last thing I want to talk about with Scanz is being early. Scanz allows you to be early. And how does it allow you to be early? Is because if we're trading momentum stocks, we need a news stream. We need to be able to find news, and the people who get to the news first are the people who end up being more profitable because they're able to buy at early position. So if you're not reading the news and something comes out and it says, hey man, it has to deal with Google like Wolf, and you find out 5 hours later the price has probably already gone up 40%, and now you're buying at 40% when you could have just used a tool or a scanner tool or some type of news software that allows you to get that news early in order to be in early. So even if you're a new trader, you just got to find your strength. If you feel like, hey man, I'm not good at XYZ, like reading filings or this, just sit here and watch news. Maybe you can be good at deciphering what news moves markets, what themes are hot, such as robotic themes are pretty much getting hot. And whatever themes that, you think you start seeing a trend in, like if you start seeing a lot of stocks trending, that are moving based on news, as you can see, like CEO resigned. We talked about that in a Substack post, and these things came out at 9 a.m. Like sometimes I may not have Scanz open, so I didn't see this, and I don't use Scanz every day. I should be using it more. I think it'll elevate my trading. I just need to find space on my monitor. I need to remove something of one of the screens that I'm using to add it, or just add another screen, or put it on the big screen up here. It's all possible. I've been doing well without it, so I could probably perform a lot better with it. So I do recommend you to get Scanz if that makes sense. as part of your arsenal of tools. And then you can just kind of filter the prices that you want. So if you just want news between $5 and $10, therefore you don't got to get all of the news of Tesla and all those things that maybe you're not day trading, because that's just a waste of time and money. So don't want to make the video too long, but if you want to find stocks to trade, this is definitely one of the greatest tools that you can use to find that, as it also gives you a news feed where you get news in real time as soon as it comes out, which allows you to get an edge in the market and to be able to capitalize and become more profitable trading gas money amount.